Hey guys, all right. So I'm sorry, I'm just a tad late. Was just getting the kids fed their dinner and then jump in here. Okay, so first off, my name is Rachel Feldman. Totally excited to be with you guys here tonight. We extended these live Q&As because the other ones were just so awesome. And what I realized in doing these live Q&As is that as health coaches, oh, sorry, my phone. As health coaches, we often sit here and we have all these ideas of what we want to do with our business. We see all of this like greatness and this goodness on Facebook and all of these different systems and everything and signature programs that other people have, but we don't know how to implement them ourselves. Or we get scared how to implement them, or we don't know where to start. And so when we did these live Q&As the other day, and we mapped out our signature programs, I realized, wow, this was so informational and so important. So first off, if anybody wants to just share where they are from, they can pop in the chat box and we can get started. Anybody? I think there's just a few people. I know it's like a Monday night and this was like a last minute kind of thing. So if anybody is coming late or there's only just a few of us, then it will just be just the few of us. So if anybody wants to do a hot seat, which means that we can map out really your signature program, feel free and we can do that. Now, before I even get into what a signature program is about, this is what I've seen, and I actually just got out of my mastermind earlier, and we were talking about how we have been entrepreneurs in my mastermind for a pretty long time. We've been entrepreneurs in different fields, and so some of us are in the health and wellness field. One of us is an entrepreneur in high performance. One is an entrepreneur in social media. One is a mindset coach. And we were talking about the fact that the time has really changed. There was a time where just having that, like, putting an opt-in freebie out and putting a challenge out and getting a lot of people to come, those days were, 365 of them. But those days are not happening as much. And so what we're seeing now is that you really can't be doing what everyone else is doing. You have to be different. And so one of my mastermind coaches is a Brendon Burchard coach. And so she was actually saying that, what Brendon Burchard teaches is that you have to be zigzagging. While somebody else is doing a challenge, your challenge has to be a little different. While somebody else is offering 2 50-minute sessions and handouts and, this and that, you have to be different. And so I think what I'm seeing for a lot of coaches who are not making it is, one, they have not nailed down their niche. And a niche, just to go over this over and over, your niche is the very group of people that you serve who have a specific problem. Your sub-niche, the very people that you serve who have a specific problem, but then you get even more specific. So maybe you're working with women who are stressed out, who have digestive issues, but then the sub-niche of that is you're working with women who are stressed out, who have digestive issues and thyroid and hormonal imbalances. So you just got a little more specific within the digestive wellness niche. So I see a person. Does anyone actually want to raise their hand and actually do a hot seat, and we can map out your specific signature plan or any questions that you have about launching your business or choosing a program that works for you, or choosing a system that works for you within your business, or building out your funnel? Yes, no? Okay, I hear a little silence. Okay, so I'm just going to get down to it, because sometimes it can get, okay, having trouble logging in. All I see is a black screen. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so clearly there's not a black screen because I'm seeing it. I would say to log out and maybe log back in. But what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen. Give me just a second. I would say definitely log back out and log back in. Bear with me as I just pull up a document. Hold on. The document is acting a little quirky. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. All right, I might have to pull up an Evernote, and we can do it this way. So I think Mercury is in retrograde, if anybody, if anybody actually believes in that, because technology has not been my best friend this week. Okay, so we are going to pull up, we're going to pull up an Evernote, and we are going to talk about signature systems. Okay, so feel free, if you want, write in the chat box to just, or pop a question right here in the live Q&A. And I just want to remind people who are watching this and have the replay that our special for the programs at www.yourhealthcoachbiz.com, that very, very special one coupon that I send out is going to be expiring like in the next, I think it's about 36 hours. So if you have questions, like, this is the time. Okay, so we're going to talk about signature systems. And also niche, because I think between what I see for coaches is this is really where they get tripped up. So when you think about building your business, so I'm going to say like building your business from the ground up. And remember, this is online or offline. One is you want to have opt-in freebies. Some people start with one, some people start with two. You can buy opt-in freebies, which is what we have at Your Health Coach Biz. And you will see them listed under business builders when you go there. I also have something called Steal My Copywriter, which was actually written by one of my copywriters. She's amazing. And you also have a few bonus. I work with a ton of amazing copywriters because they all have different styles. And I think sometimes when you're writing email copy, some have that storytelling, some have that male voice, some have that female voice. It's nice, especially when you're crafting your business and trying to find your voice, to find also the person who really is a great closer, a great storyteller. And sometimes it's a few different people. You want to have opt-in freebies. This is how you are surveying surveying your market. So I just was talking to a client today, and we were going over her launch plan. And I said, well, great, you know, you can use this opt-in freebie and we can have 2 opt-in freebies. And this way you can really see in a test. So before you launch, like even 4 weeks before you launch, you can test, like, does this person want weight loss? So this is a way to test before a launch too. So if you're thinking about launching a weight loss program or a mindset program or a grain-free program, you can test to see, does this person love, you know, something about mindset, or does this person love, like, you know, something about like smoothies, or do they love the skinny black dress challenge, or do they love, you know, a weight loss, or do they love a 3-day jump start or a 3-day reboot? Do they love the word cleanse, or do they love the word, you know, refresh? So you can kind of start to understand the words and the social media and the marketing that you're even doing, and how to communicate also with your community. And again, what this is, online or offline. Even when you use a flyer, so social media, flyers, I mean, any marketing that has words, you need to know what are those words that, what are the words that they need to actually hear from you. So it's really important that you understand this. And I have found that utilizing your opt-in freebies, let me actually just back up here, in blogs, so that you have a CTA, a call to action. This is how you're building your business from the ground up. Then what do you do? On, you know, if you're posting this, just make sure that we're not having some login issues. I just see a lot of, sorry, just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me just stop share for a second. Hold on, because it is, hold on, bear with me. I know, I said, okay, wait, hold on. So let me just get to the meeting ID. I'm so sorry about this. So sorry. Webinar ID. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I saw all these emails coming in. I think the webinar ID was incorrect. Sorry, thank you for being patient. Okay, so let me just flip around and just share my screen again. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. All right, so we have a blog, we have call to action. Building your business from the ground up. So when you're using your opt-in freebies, and that's why you want to have multiples, and that's why you want to actually have the opt-in freebies that you buy with our Rockstar ones. And that's why our Rockstar, or what I call like our all-inclusive ones, where you actually have like gut or sugar, revitalized mindset. Those opt-in freebies should always be in the back of MailChimp or Aweber or any mail service, any email service. So then you're thinking about your specific, then you're actually going, which we even talked about this today, in your Tripwire. So your Tripwire could be a recipe guide being sold for, let's say, $17, and that's 50 recipes. So a lot of coaches that I talk to say, well, how am I supposed to make money? I'm buying a program for 177. Well, one is that one program, let's say at 177 or even 377, you take that one program at 177 and say you're selling this tripwire. So let's even just do the math on the tripwire. We have $17 for 50 recipes. So that's 17, and you sell 20 of that. You just made 340. So how many people, and that tripwire could also, say you wanted to sweeten the deal on that tripwire. $17, and a tripwire by definition is something so sweet, guys, that you trip into it. That the person who is looking at it goes, oh my God, like this is too good to be true. So it's on your site. You have on your site products, you know, or you have on your site, like, you know, shop. And so that might have, you know, your existing programs, even maybe a little cute box or a square and a square. Program one, maybe it's a do-it-yourself. Then you have a recipe guide. So maybe you want to sweeten that deal. So it's 50 recipes plus 2 weeks of healthy meals. And again, be careful what state you are in. You could say suggested yummy recipes or meals if you're in a different state with shopping list. So again, you're not giving a full program. You're giving a tripwire. So that's $17. So this could even just be 1 week. You know, it's like, wow, $17, because they're building what with you? Trust. So that's usually the biggest thing. So when somebody says, well, how could I do this? If you sell, what did we even say, guys? 17 times 20. So let's just say that our goal, all right, goal is, so in the launch goal, when I talk to people about like writing down their goals, which launch goal is launching, you can buy it now, but launch goal is officially launching. It is the only school solely for health coaches that is launching, and we are doing a kickoff on April 6th, 2017. We talk about writing down goals, and I help you and support you in the forum. Like, what are your goals? What are we accomplishing? When I talk about like, what are your goals? This is what I'm talking about. It's like, if you sit there and say, how am I supposed to make this money? How am I supposed to make this money back? Well, can you get 20 people to buy at $17? So even just when I sit there and think, okay, is that possible? Anything is possible when we have a very clear goal and a vision. Then, say you have one program at 177. One, we just even made that back by just doing that. But then we start to think, a gateway program. A gateway program, no offense to anybody, but it's like the gateway drug. It's like that leading in point to somebody understanding, what is that like to work with you? What's nice also about a gateway program is not everyone is going to be able to afford your one-on-one. Not everyone is going to be able to work with you. And I even said this to a coach. You know, there are some people that never are going to ever talk about their emotional stuff. Or it may take so long to get them to the place of talking about their emotional stuff. And so having them understand that, you know, as coaches, that 6-month model may be great for some people, but a lot of coaches are missing out on a huge opportunity financially for them to take it out of their side hustle and to turn it into a main career if they could actually either offer a gateway program or a lower end and one-on-one coaching. So right now, or the single session. So your gateway program is a program. Like, let's just say this could be grain-free. This could be detox or cleanse or clean eating because we make it. And these are based on the elimination diet. So they're different than other cleanses out there. Their cleanses are typical cleanses. This is based on somebody really understanding what foods work for them, what foods really fuel them. This could also be the raw program. And this raw program is also different because what it's telling somebody is that it doesn't just have to be black and white. And how do you eat raw the right way? And so when I wrote that program, I really wanted somebody to know the benefits of raw, but that you didn't have to like be so raw religious. My goal as a coach always was to give information to people so they didn't feel like they needed to hold on to just these dogmas of eating. Unless, of course, there was religious or spiritual, reasons behind like not eating a certain way. So you could have grain-free detox, raw, any of those, easy weight loss. And again, these are all programs that can be found right on our site, right on my site at yourhealthcoachbiz.com. So easy weight loss, grain-free. What I love about grain-free is this is not your typical like heavy ghee, fat, bacon. This was created when I created these recipes. It was easy on the liver, easy on the digestion. It was a program that could help somebody to go back to a primal state of living and understanding and seeing what that needed to be like for them. So your gateway program pricing could even be pricing right here. And pricing, again, is all different. Pricing for some is very simple and straightforward, but pricing has to come with strategy. Pricing for some people as a gateway program can be 67. It could even be, or it could be like 97. It can be 127, be 167. It depends on the length. It depends on you as a coach. There's so many different factors, guys. So don't get stuck into this. I've tried every different price to just see what works. And again, it also depends where you live. It depends, on your certifications and your level of education, everything of that nature. So then you get into your signature package, your signature program. This is what defines you. This is a program that helps to really brand who you are. And this is a system. So this is the system that you believe really helps your niche. But what's interesting is if you look at this, this is really the funnel. It's like everything that leads up. So yes, is the gateway program about, also what you are, or even the single session? Can the single session be the detox that you are using in your single session? So for example, let's even just say a single session. Let's even just do work with me first. So this could be a single session. And you use one of the programs. Then you have work with me 2 levels. Work with me 2 levels. And so your single session, we go back up here. Your single session, for some of you, maybe you charge $125, maybe you charge $150, maybe you charge $200. All of a sudden, say you buy one program and all of your work, instead of session notes and pulling things down, and of course, we're always going to do work. We're always going to personalize, but you're saving yourself time. You're doing a single session. You're using one of the programs. Then your work with me 2 levels. You might have one level that starts with your system, detox, maybe going into maybe weight loss, going into sugar. Maybe your other system is that somebody starts with detox, weight loss, and they go into mindset. Maybe you have a longer system. Maybe one is gut. Maybe your niche is more that you work with gut. Maybe it's corporate wellness. Maybe you're more attracted to Revitalize. These are all programs that we have, and they're all very different. People always ask me, do they have the same recipes? No. The only seasonal program we have is the Detox and Cleanse, which is based on the elimination diet. Every other program, and if you're in another country, we have tons of seasons, so don't worry. We can give you a season. If you're in Australia right now, yes, we have a program that's in fall. Don't worry. So I want you to see that, because what we just laid out right here is, let me just put that E, is what a lot of coaches have a really tough time. Like, okay, so what is this from the ground up? We often sit there and we're like, okay, my niche, my sessions, my handouts, but it's like, what does it really look like to put it all together? Because when we put it all together and we say, oh, wow, okay, so if a goal is right there, and if my single session, so if my work with me, if I'm charging, you know, let's even just say $450, okay, 125, $450. If I'm infusing that and I have a goal to get 5 clients a month times 450. That's 2,250 times 12. That's 27,000. If I'm selling my tripwires and my goal is 20, and so you're going to have to change out your tripwires, remember? So if we have a goal of selling 20, let's just say 20 tripwires, you know, let's say, can we get 20 people at 17? Can somebody answer in the chat box and say, yes, is this possible? I just want to know, is this possible? Or am I like completely crazy? Because I think if I was saying, could we sell like 20 of these at, you know, 200? I think maybe, you know, that's a little more like, wow, okay, so we have to do launching for that. But could we do tripwire at 17 for 20? Who can say yes? 20 times 17, 340. I think that's realistic to say that somebody could do that once or once every 2 months. So let's say that we're going to shoot for 6 times a year. That's 2,040, right? So instead of, if we wanted to do that twice, 4,080. So I just want you to think of the possibilities that are in front of you. Then when you think about your system, what is your signature system? How does it all, signature system, how does it all fit together? Now just remember, each one of these programs, that's why a lot of people do buy VIP. Because when you sit there and you look and you say, okay, well, how can I use Easy Weight Loss? How can I use Rockstar? How can I use the gut and sugar? I mean, each one of them can be used in so many different ways, because you can be doing talks, you can be infusing it into your one-on-one. So many different components, so easily put together, and you just infuse your information right into that. Okay, when you start talking those numbers, what to charge, I start feeling insecure. I'm thinking, who would pay that? Okay, so let me just back up. This is Money Mindset 101. Okay, so we're going to talk about this a lot tonight. Actually, yeah, we are going to talk about this right now. Just take a drink first. When I came out of school, I charged $150 a month. I think I had, let me say, so I made $13,000 that year, divided by 150. Wait, 13 divided by 150. I had 86.66 clients. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. All right. I was exhausted. Or that's a lot of times that people re-upped and stayed with me. Also knew I was a great coach. I didn't believe in myself. I was like this at my first session. I was like, I had a binder full of handouts that said session 1, session 2. They were provided for me. My client was so beyond any of that. And this is when I started to feel insecure. I didn't feel insecure in school. I felt insecure when I came out of school and realized that what I had material-wise wasn't going to suffice with the clients in the world. And this was nothing against school, because I was lucky that I was even provided with anything. A lot of schools don't provide their students with anything, but it made me look like this. Like, well, we're on to the next. And I just was in a panic. And as I said, my clients were saying things like, do you know about carb cycling? Do you know? I mean, they were, and I had a coach say it to me today, our clients are the ones that are watching Dr. Oz every day. They're watching the doctor panels. They know more than a lot of coaches. That is the truth. They are, people are information junkies these days, and they should be. They should be. I am happy they are, because it means they are empowered. So when they come to a coach, they actually want us to de-information them. So what happened is that second year, yes, I doubled the money, a little more. Great. I hit 27,000. Thank God. It was better than a lot of coaches were doing. So I got smarter, but then it hit me, like I said, that I was exhausted and I didn't have a system. I had a system up here. I knew what worked for me, but I wasn't translating it to paper to hand it off to clients. And so what happened was, once I created that first program and felt like I had something tangible to offer, all of a sudden, I was like, wow. And I wasn't telling them anything different necessarily than what I had been coaching them. I just had it formatted. It's really important. So I still wasn't charging my worth. I increased my price. So when coaches come to me and they work with me, I say, okay, listen, we're going to charge, you're going to charge this. How's that feel? And they're like, I don't think anyone would pay for that. And I said, okay, so tell me why. And I start talking and they're like, you know what? I do know a lot. So it's our mindset that tells us we don't, and it's our fears that get the best of us. That's why mindset's everything, especially as an entrepreneur. And it is an alone job. You're in an office, or you're working from home, or you've rented an office, but you're alone. And so it's up to you to believe that you have been chosen for a reason and have gone through the journey that you've gone through to help somebody. And so the person who is going to come to you is paying you because you are guiding them and you see something in them that they can't see yet, or that they're stuck. And the money is simply a value of exchange. And when we feel it's right that we, level our prices or change our prices, it's that we feel that we're worth. It's not that somebody that we go to a seminar, or at least I never did. Maybe I'm fortunate that I didn't have the money to do that. But I never went anywhere and had somebody tell me, charge $5,000 for your services. People will enjoy that. I've seen that. And the funny thing is I've seen people who try to do that and they don't necessarily get clients. I think that we have to sit with a price. We have to see if it feels right. And we have to know that it's not going to always feel comfortable. But if we don't have a system in place, and for a lot of us, it's the fear, is anyone going to buy? Is anyone going to do this? How are we going to make this happen? We have to get over that. We have to get over that. We have to believe in what we are offering. And if there's other things that take us down, like technology and stuff like that, there are so many virtual assistants that are great out there that can help implement, or you do something on Eventbrite. And you sell it on Eventbrite and you deliver it through Dropbox and you make it simple. And that's what I did for my first 3 launches. But you know what? I did it. I did it. And it didn't need to be perfect. So Coach D is asking, can you please review the single session? Yes, the single session can be a 60-minute session, a 90-minute session, even a 30, where you have not a longer program. I wouldn't say sugar, I wouldn't say gut, I wouldn't say mindset, or even revitalize. This would be easy weight loss, raw, grain-free, a simple program like one of, I call the gateway programs, the detox that you are taking, that you are sitting down, you're talking about what's going on with you, how can I help you? Here's a program, let's personalize this. Or, hey, have your session, and then you personalize it after, send that program off to them. They've paid you for your session, and you've also not only lessened the time, but you've given them a great program. Instead of spending the hour or plus that it would take you to go over their session notes anyway, and, do all of that. So I really encourage you to sit there and think about your signature system. So a signature system is typically anywhere from like 14 days to maybe like 8 weeks. You might have a signature program that's a longer, maybe like a 3-month. But when you get into the longer ones, like 6 months, 9 months, those are more of like group coaching. So I would say that those could be like mindset, the gut program, sugar. And for, a lot of people who are doing fitness, I mean, you can involve videos, you can put, you can do so much with those programs and actually make them where they're membership programs. And there's, fitness videos involved in them and so many different other ways to utilize those programs and elevate and also separate yourself from the rest. I think that's the other thing. When I hear people say, don't be cookie cutter, it's like, being cookie cutter is actually just saying everything that everyone else does. Separating yourself is niching yourself and being very specific, not so specific that you push out the masses, but being very specific in your message, knowing who you can help and why it relates to your own story. And then also being very specific in how this system helped you. So if you're looking at like, wow, I take people through a cleanse and then I move them to my sugar program, or maybe you're combining the cleanse and the sugar, or maybe on a sales page, you actually have it where they could buy cleanse, but if they buy cleanse and sugar, they get like, 20% off. There are so many different ways to package and also to leverage. Package, leverage, elevate, niche, be specific so that you are different from somebody else, and really let people get to know you. I talked about this in the other webinars. The more people get to know you and who you are and why this is different and why this is unique and why you are unique, the more people are inclined to journey with you and be there with you and go through this experience with you. And that's really what people are buying. So don't ever forget that. Does anyone else have another question? I know we were doing this like last minute today. Okay, so if we don't have another question, I will pop this in the replay. I hope building this out was really helpful, because I know for me, it was really confusing in the beginning. Like, how do I test before I launch? How do I understand what people need? Okay, Jessica's saying, one of my ideas is to work with athletes and active people. What programs would I use? So I love, let's just go here, niche, active people. It's so funny. I was just saying this today to a coach. Programs. So I like Gateway. Would be grain-free. It is so awesome. I mean, one, you can use this like hormonal. Two, you can also use this energy. I actually did this program. I used to work with a bunch of athletes, and I did this program actually with one of the hockey players in Florida. It was like, oh my God, you are awesome. Actually, it was one of the testimonials. I have to pull it up from when my site was Rachel's Wellness, but he was like, I beat out all the young guys. He was so cute. Because I took him grain-free. I was just like, dude, I'm telling you, like, go grain-free. You will like knock these little boys' socks off. So grain-free is a really great program. Also, you can then approach like lots of gyms, CrossFit, anything. I mean, the possibilities are endless, like just by going in, because that whole primal approach is really big. Even if it's not a gym that is, you know, a totally like paleo, or that people know that ketogenic, and this is not ketogenic by any means, but that like whole bulletproof biohacking, I mean, people really get into that. So I love grain-free. I think Sugar also has amazing recipes in there that are great for like fitness, energy, recovery, everything. So I think those, I think also plus easy weight loss, because it's not without carbs. So you still are carb rich in that one. So I'd say grain-free or easy weight loss and Sugar would be ones that I would really focus on for energy. I think gut is great, but I think gut can be very niche specific. And unless somebody really understands that, it can be hard from a marketability standpoint to sell that. So I would actually go, and I think energy as far as that also, Jessica, gut health, you have easy weight loss, gut health, and mindset. I mean, you could even rename gut health if you wanted, and push gut health in a different way, like more energy, higher performance, you know, I would actually say like work on higher performance. But I wouldn't say like restore your gut health. But you can also focus on like better energy, better gut health. So really make that tie, because I think the biggest thing with marketing is that a lot of people don't understand the connection. So we have to make the connection for them to help with recovery. I think gut is a great one with recovery. I think when it comes to recovery, though, we also have to add in like, what are our good recovery ones? Recovery, like, you know, snacks and stuff of that nature. But I think as long as somebody's like recovering in the ways and, you know, adding the foods that they need to, I mean, grain-free is really great. But I think gut health has a lot of great supports in there, like bone broth and all that good stuff that a lot of people, and kefir and, you know, all that great stuff. So I think that would be really good. I mean, if you wanted to add one, sugar or grain-free, and if you want to like email me and I can do like a screen share, you know, Zoom, or we can talk about it by all means. So I love those. I mean, I think sugar, I just think for anybody, I don't know what woman or what athlete isn't trying to, it doesn't have weak adrenals, because I think that's the biggest thing with athletes. Like, you can go into a gym and you know who's got weak adrenals from even just, you know, it's those bags under the eyes. It's weak adrenals, and you know the people who don't. So sugar is a really great one for that because it talks about adrenals, but also so does gut. But I also love grain-free. I loved writing that program too. Yeah, I would definitely go into a CrossFit with grain-free. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to email me personally at Rachel Feldman. I'll just even put this, Rachel Feldman. Rachel Feldman 1@mac.com. Oops, I put an extra M. And let me know if you have any questions. I am going to go kiss my kids goodnight, and we can go from there. That is about it. So just like I said, if you're on the fence trying to think about a program, for many of you who focus on the mindset, maybe don't have the money for mindset, Revitalize is awesome. Revitalize is also awesome because it takes you step by step, like day by day, which is really neat. It actually gives homework, like day 1, day 2, day 3, and it does it week by week. And it focuses on the different ebooks, like committing to change and food focus and like exercise. And so each of the different ebooks in Revitalize are really amazing. Plus that also is omnivore and vegetarian, and you get a 2-week vegan weight loss as a jump start for that. So it's a real clean eating program. And I added the weight loss just in case you have a client that like needs that jump start. So, and we all have those clients. So anyway, it's been a pleasure to be with you guys. Like I said, take a look, review this, see where you're missing holes in your business, and see where you can, up level, so that you can really, like I said, make your goals always a reality, and think, where are you launching in your work with me? Where are you launching online, offline, your opt-in freebies, and start to get your whiteboard out so you can strategize, plan, and not feel overwhelmed. All right, guys, have an amazing night. It's great to be with you, and I look forward to supporting you guys. Take it easy. Bye, guys.